We want to talk about the positives of the young black male. And just to say the word, the Campaign for Black Male Achievement says it all.
To support black male achievement. We can't allow the complexity of the issues that disproportionately affect communities of color and black men and boys specifically to serve as an excuse not to act. We have to act now. We have to decide if we want black male achievement to be an expense or an investment.
If you start thinking about black male achievement and you take any one metric and you just start talking about the metric of today without really talking about how we got there and some of the things and some of the system failures that we've had leading up to now, I think you're missing the context that really helps bring everybody to the table at the same place.
Well, a big piece is reminding ourselves that we didn't get here by accident, that it was, centuries, but very specifically almost a century of very specific policies related to housing and employment and education and healthcare that created neighborhoods where it's almost impossible for people who grow up and live in them and want to turn them around to do so.
There's a reason that every major city in the United States has racial identities within the neighborhoods. It wasn't by choice, it was because of things like redlining, things that were actually condoned by the government, by the city, state, and federal government.
My wife and I have been somewhat successful. We always discuss what can we do to enhance the lives of other people. So we wanted to think of some kind of way that we could leave a legacy. We wanted to first recognize our alma mater, and we always look to help the local charities, and we want to step it up and do some more for that. Being able to go out and help others, and to me, that's the richness of life.
If you can imagine K through 12, the genesis from which you come from starts at slavery, and then you compile that with what the media is saying about us, which is halfway inaccurate, if not more. So there becomes this notion and this internal angst that black males begin to have, and they, if not careful, they begin to see themselves as to what is proliferated.
And as a society, we have to understand that those barriers exist. We can't just write things off as bad luck or as poor work ethic. There's just too many data points showing that historically, the opportunities for black and brown males in particular have not been the same as any other peer group.
It takes some sensitivity, and it takes us acknowledging the fact that black people haven't had it the best in the United States, and it's gonna take local leaders and national leaders to make some changes. We can't change what we don't address. So it's all about getting it out there, having open and candid conversations. We're all in this together, and we need to support each other.
We are fathers, we are uncles, we're coaches, we're mentors. It's just that sometimes the way we do it is not the traditional way. When you go into African-American barbershop, the love and the surrounding that those young men get when they're there is another place that we choose not to elevate and choose not to highlight. But then also when you think about our churches, there's men there all the time supporting young men. We've got to start owning our own story and telling our own story as well, using the different platforms that are available to us now to really push out the narratives that are really taking place in our communities.
I love to ground conversations in data because I feel like it's the best way to be really objective. Driving just 30 minutes across our community, you will see a 12 to 13 year life expectancy difference. That meaning that black men, black individuals in our community, individuals who are growing up in concentrated neighborhoods of poverty, they may live 13 years shorter lives than those growing up in East Louisville that are more predominantly Caucasian or white.
There were times when I had to wear my sister's shoes to school, and I would cover them up with my jeans, and so my attitude was that you only gonna joke on me once. For as smart as I may have been, for as good as my grades were, I was told by my counselors that you either go into the military or you'll probably end up in jail or dead. Well, first of all, I credit God for the path that he put me on, obviously, and then just having the Air Force to give me a skill. I learned electronics. For me, I know my place now. I know what my job is, what my path is. My path is to serve.
I talked to this group this morning, and there was 4 young men in that group of 16 that had 4.0 GPAs. And one of them just told me, I missed 4 years of school because my father had issues and nobody just sent me to school. I said, that is amazing. You missed 4 years of school and you were able to pick yourself up. I said, I love you. You are amazing. I said, when is the last time you've heard that? He said, when I was 5. How does a 16-year-old not hear, I love you, you are amazing, in 11 years and be his best? How does that happen?
Super Chef started in like a weird place, and it's funny because it grew in a weird place too. It started from, I guess, saying yes to all the things I would normally say no to. Cooking is one aspect of who I am. You know, like, it could come and go tomorrow. I know that my food is my connecting piece with people. Most people don't understand that people you hang around, the people you have around you, are one of the most important decisions you're ever gonna make in your life. You know what I'm saying? That is, you are the sum of the 5 friends that you hang with. First of all, you gotta tell kids what success looks like. It looks like doing what you say you're gonna do first. That's the first part of success. The only difference between success and failure is the right belief system in yourself. That's it. I wanna be remembered not only for food, but for how I use food, like how Muhammad Ali used boxing. Boxing is his gift, but he used that to connect with people. I wanna use food to connect with people. And I also want people to know I think I'm pretty as well. You know, so.
Martin Luther King Jr.'s favorite song was, if I can help somebody along the way, then my living shall not be in vain. And I love that song, and I love that simple phrase, if I can help somebody else out, then my living shall not be in vain.
People can coalesce around pointing fingers at a single person or a single group, but it takes a lot of hands to move a movement along and to change legislation inevitably, and that is what the end game should be.
The biggest thing that I can tell folks is if you want to make a change, you have to know why you want to make the change, and you have to know what you're fighting for, and the only way you can do those 2 things is to engage in the work.
We're all one community, and so to the extent that any segment of our community feels that they are less than part of all of us, or that they're treated any differently in our system of justice, it is an issue for everyone.
Well, personally, I see myself in this work. You know, I see my siblings, my brothers in this work, my father, my uncles, you know, I see them in this work. And so it's a labor of love. It's not a naivete about how challenging the work can be and how embedded these systems are. But I think it's a faith in my community and my partners and the individuals who have committed their lives to this work as well. I believe in us, and I believe in our community.
We need a multiracial, multigender coalition of people who care about people. This is how we live united.